Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another installment of Scott's Selections here for Monday, January 20th. Before we get into today's play of the day, a quick recap of what happened yesterday. We ended up giving out Riley Opelka on the money line at plus 102 on FanDuel in his tennis match against Fabio Fognini. They're currently in the middle of a rain delay. That line ended up closing at minus 128, so we got about 30 cents of value before the closing line. But Opelka's actually up 2-0 right now. There is a rain delay. He needs to win one of the next three, and then he will end up giving us a nice play of the day winner. But there's some rain issues in Australia, so we'll see when that match resumes. Main reason why I'm doing the video, though, this early is because of the fact that I will be busy tomorrow doing some errands. So because of that, I decided to not deprive all of you of a play. So for that reason, I will be making the video at roughly 12:30 a.m. Eastern Time on Monday, January 20th. Now, for today's play of the day, although we don't really know what's going to happen in terms of chalking up a victory for the start of our U.S. Open, Australian Open, I should say, it does look pretty promising, as so far so good in those first two sets. And we're going to be sticking with the somewhat hot hand here with tennis, and we'll be talking about a match between John Isner and Thiago Monteiro, and we actually like a prop here, which is available on FanDuel, and we like the first set total games over 10.5, which is available at plus 118 on FanDuel. Now, the main reasons why we like this line here, just because of the fact that with Isner playing, this is just way too much value here. Isner, if you've looked at his career, he's one of the worst returners probably in the history of tennis. One of the best servers of all time, though, but he cannot return to save his life. And Monteiro, even though he is a relative unknown to mainstream tennis fans, he is still a pretty good server. And if you've looked at his last couple of matches, he tends to go to the tiebreak a lot in the first set. Isner, in his 3 rounds at Auckland, ended up going to a tiebreak in the first set of each of those matches. And Monteiro, in his Auckland tournament, ended up going to a tiebreak in the first set 2 out of 4 times. So he tends to go to tiebreaks early. Isner is the king of going to tiebreaks because he never breaks anybody. And I think plus 118 at 10.5 is a little bit too much value at 10.5. Now, if you want to, you could take the 12.5 to guarantee a tiebreak only at plus 168, but I simply just think plus 118 at 10.5, getting 2 games there at 7.5 apiece. I just think that's a little bit too much value for plus 118. I think this one should be somewhere in the realm of, I'd say, minus 110, give or take, just based on the fact that Isner is that abysmal at serving. If you've looked at Monteiro's numbers, he's actually been serving really well lately against Benoit Paire, one of the better returners in all of the ATP Tour. He had 7 aces, 0 double faults, and he ended up winning 67% of his first serve points. Definitely a solid performance. Match before that, he won 73% of his first serve points against Cameron Norrie. And even before that, he played against Leonardo Meyer, and he ended up winning 83% of his first serve points. Meanwhile, if you've actually looked at Isner's last couple of matches, returning-wise, he's been absolutely terrible. His last match against Hugo Herbert, Hugo Herbert ended up winning 100% of his first serve points. He never lost a first serve point because Isner is that bad at returning. And if you've looked at the matches before that, Kyle Edmund, despite losing in straight sets to Isner in 2 tiebreaks, did win 83% of his first serve points. And Sandgren as well won 74% of his first serve points despite losing that match in 3 sets. I think that both players are solid servers. Isner by far is the better server, but that doesn't matter. I just simply think both players will take a little while to get used to the other's serving patterns, and I think you should end up seeing both of them have relatively easy holds early on in the first set of this match. Even if Isner or Monteiro struggle down the stretch, you still end up getting winners at 7.5 apiece. But I think plus 118 is just too much value here, and I think this one should be a roughly minus 110. So play of the day for Monday, January 20th will be on John Isner and Thiago Monteiro over 10.5 games in the first set, which is available at plus 118 on FanDuel, and that will be the play of the day. Now, looking at some of the rest of the card, we will be giving out some leans on the NBA. A decent amount of games have already been posted. Some lines have not, so we won't be talking about those. But some of the initial thoughts on the lines. First of all, I like Phoenix minus the 4.5 against San Antonio. San Antonio did pick up a nice win at home against the Heat today, but they will be playing the second of a back-to-back, and they will have to travel on the road. Phoenix will be the more rested team. I think they'll play well at home in this spot. San Antonio might run out of gas in the second half. Lean to the Suns on that one. Other than that, what else do I like here? I'm going to lean to Milwaukee minus the 14 against Chicago. Chicago's been struggling a bit lately, and Milwaukee has played really well for the entire season, but in particular particularly over the last couple of weeks. Milwaukee's looked really good at home. I think Chicago will get blown out. Milwaukee should win that game by 20. Lean to the Bucks in that one. Lean to the Cavaliers as well at -1.5. New York has played some terrible basketball lately, and I think Cleveland should put in a good performance at home. Lean to the Cavaliers at home -1.5 on that one. I expect that line to climb. Other than that, though, pretty much it for today's card. I don't really have many other thoughts. Looking briefly at the college basketball card to see if I like anything else in particular. Right now, no, not really. You have West Virginia playing Texas, not interested. You have Baylor playing against Oklahoma, not interested either. Yeah, I don't really have any thoughts on the card for college basketball, but the play today, once again, will be on John Isner and Thiago Monteiro over 10.5 games in the first set, which is available at +118 on FanDuel. Other than that, though, that's good for the installment of Scott Selections here for Monday, January 20th. Good luck to all of you and your respective bets today. Bye, everyone.